Hey, Mike Stinger here, and welcome to The Coolness, where passion plus action equals results. And I really hope you're doing awesome today, and I wanted to talk about communication. And communication is really, really important. And a lot of us sometimes underestimate the power of communication and how really important it is. And I mean, it's virtually impossible to get what we want or to do things in life without communication. And it's not just important for us as human beings, it's even important to animals and to other species in order to survive, in order to go somewhere, in order to get what they need. You know, communication is just a really important thing of life in general. So I really wanted to talk about communication, and I wanted to break it up into a two-part video. And reason being is there's really two ways of communication. And the first one is verbal communication, you know, what we say and how we say it. And the second thing is nonverbal communication, body language, how we present ourselves, how we act. And that's nonverbal communication. So in this first video, I wanted to touch on verbal communication and give you some just quick tips and really give you a three-principle formula, whatever you want to call it, just basically three principles that I use, not just in communicating with other people, other business owners, whatever, but I also use it for my social media strategies, and my social media presence. And it just really is basic and simple. It's not all complicated like, well, you should say this to get this kind of response. No, it really, you don't have to make communication complicated. You can if you want to, but it'll make things a lot harder. So I wanted to, in this video, touch on those three principles that I use and that work really, really well. And then in the second video, I wanted to touch on, nonverbal communication, body language, and give you some tips and tactics on that. So verbal communication is one part of the whole communication spectrum, and really verbal communication is the main way how we communicate. If you're not able to talk or to speak, it's really hard to communicate. And so with verbal communication, there's really three things that you need to understand and take note of to be a better and more effective communicator. And those three principles are listen, engage, and care. And I mean, this is just so brain dead simple, but you've got all these people talking about, well, you need to say this, or you need to do that, or communicate in this way, when it's really these three principles that you should be paying the most attention to. Now listen. Listening is really, really important. And if you talk a lot, or all you do is when you're having a conversation with someone, you just talk about yourself and you just yap and yap and yap. And I remember a video, a movie I saw a while back, and it was like, you're doing lots of this, and I want you to do this. And it really comes down to the old saying, there's a reason why you have two ears and one mouth, and that's to listen twice as much as you talk. And that's just some killer, just absolutely awesome advice. And you need to listen to people because if your conversation is all one-sided, the other person's going to get turned off. They're not going to want to listen to you, and they're not going to want to talk to you. So you've got to listen. And people, and you can say you don't want to, or say you don't like to, but the simple fact is people love, and I mean love, to talk about themselves. They could go on and on all day talking about themselves if they could, but it's not really an effective way to do it. But when you're communicating with someone, you want it to be a balanced conversation. You want to ask, open-ended questions, not questions that get a yes or no response. Those are good too, but if you really want to communicate with someone, you want to ask, questions where they have to give you an answer and not a yes or a no, because it doesn't really, last long. You say something, someone says, yeah, or no. You see, the conversation doesn't continue or go on. It just stops pretty much right there unless you can come up with something else to say. So listening, really important, and it's really important to, pay attention to people and not have the conversation one-sided. You want it balanced. The second part of this, just these three principles, is engage. And that's go out there and talk with people, interact with people. And I mean, a lot of people don't understand engaging and interacting with people. And it's really a crucial part of everyday life. If you didn't go out there and talk with people and engage with people, you wouldn't get that far in life. And the same holds true to social media. To really build an effective presence, to really do good on there, you can't just talk about yourself. You've got to not only listen and pay attention to people, but you've got to engage and interact with them. And I mean, you've probably heard this before, but it's just so simple, and people really forget about it, and then they start talking about, oh, check out my product, check out my service, follow me here, connect with me on LinkedIn, and then they forget to engage with people. So the second part is to engage and interact. You've got to communicate with people, and communication will help you get more things in life and help you build better relationships, which is what it's all about anyway. You want to build relationships, and relationships can translate into a lot of different things. And last but not least, care. And really, really give a shit about people, really care about them. And I know not everyone is going to care as much as this person, or even care as much as I do. Really, it's not something that you can just fake. You've got to naturally care about people and really be interested in them. You don't want to just have this facade like you actually care about people. You want to actually genuinely give a shit about them and really care about them. And someone that really resonated with me, their message, really just awesome message, was Gary Vaynerchuk. And when he started talking about all this stuff about caring, I mean, it just absolutely I just clicked. I just absolutely connected with it, because I really do genuinely care about people. And to really get further in how you communicate with people and to get further in life, you've got to not only listen and not only engage and actually have meaningful conversations with people, but you've got to actually care. Because no one wants to talk to just some guy who's an asshole, or, I mean, let's be honest, some girl that's a bitch. You want to talk with someone that, can bring some sort of value, or, they're not just all about themselves. They actually want to have a good conversation with you, and they actually care. So there's three principles that you really need to, you don't need to worry about all this other stuff. Just the three principles that you really need to pay attention to are listen, engage, and care. And I guarantee you, if you pay attention to those things in your conversations, and also, doing those things in your social media, you'll do loads better. And you'll, over time, become a better and better communicator from those three things. So I hope this video didn't go too long, but the next video I will be talking about body language and nonverbal communication. And my question for you is there anything that you would, like to add, or did I miss something? So go ahead and leave a comment below, or send me an @reply on Twitter. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I will catch you later.